blistery one today. It's so windy and cold. So we've been pretty fortunate to have some really mild weather the last couple weeks, really. I'm in southwestern Ontario, but now I think winter is kind of poking its head in. So because of that, I'm going to do a bit of winterizing to my coop. My chicken coop is a chicken coop that we built from recycled materials this spring, and I will show you guys around. All right, so here is my coop. The main plan here is to screw this lifts up, so I'm going to screw it shut. And there is also this side of the coop. There is this flap here that I'm going to screw shut and nice and tight. And then that way we can keep the chickens a little bit warmer. There's a few, two doors over here. And I'm just going to put a feed bag over them because I still want them to be able to get some air and some daylight. And that should be enough for them. Some longer screws. There you go. That side is done. Easy peasy. There, that's better. Now I'll just have to bed this down again with like a really thick layer of straw, and then they should be good until the mild weather comes back. They do also have access to free ranging outside, but I just recently moved the coop, so they are staying put in here for a few days until they realize that this is where their food and water is. So different being back here and not having the chicken coop. So the chicken coop used to be right here. Yeah, I can hear some gunshots, so I hope that's somebody taking care of some coyotes out there. Our neighbor dispatched a coyote this morning, which is lovely, and then we have a crew coming in just to take care of some of that for us because they're getting a little bit too gutsy. We're getting into breeding season, I'm told, and we just really don't want any more. So my beehives are all the way back there. And when we went back there to check on the hives, there was like thousands of tracks. So we're obviously overpopulated. But yeah, can't see any in the fields though. They only seem to come out like in the early morning or the, dusk basically. Well, it's the second day in a row here where we've seen a coyote up in this section of the field, which is right next to the chicken coop. So they've obviously figured out that they are here. So now I'm in contact with a couple people and see who wants to come hunt these turds. In the meantime, just checking on the girls and checking to see if there's any eggs. So I'm just taking a second here to walk around and see if there's any coyote tracks. We've seen them in this field up here a couple times already since we moved the coop up. The neighbors actually took care of the one the other morning. So, but there was two. So far so good. They haven't been getting close to the coop. And I'm wondering if that's because the coop is right by the sheep barn where the dogs are inside. And maybe that's just enough of a deterrent. My patches. We're gonna head out later on this morning and
go look at a few more hens that we can add to our flock. Just somebody is getting rid of some. There's a lot of people out there that think that hens don't produce or don't lay as much after a year. And I can tell you for certain that I have some hens that are 6 to 8 years old that still lay pretty consistently when the weather is nice. So I mean, I don't mind having a 1-year-old hen. If they're fed properly, if they have access to the outdoors, they're not so stressed, they'll do great. All right, there they are. And they're a little dirty, but they're actually in pretty good shape. So yeah, they're just a year old. They were just getting rid of them to make room for more. And we are gonna put them in a pen here and quarantine them for a couple weeks and then add them to the rest of the flock. But they have nice red combs and they look good. Just came in to check on the new girls. This is the pen I'm gonna use for coon, but I figured in the meantime, might as well let them sit in here for the next week or two. They were already dust bathing right here, getting all nice and clean. They look pretty happy. It is so important for chickens to dust bathe. It keeps mites and fleas, or lice. I guess chickens get lice. It keeps mites and lice at bay. It helps them stay clean, obviously, and they just groom themselves. So this pen is just all dry bedding, a mix of shavings and straw. And they've obviously picked a little dirty spot right there that you can see where they're dust bathing. All right, so as part of predator control and making sure that the hens stay where they're supposed to now, I went and picked up one of these poultry netting from TSC. It was actually on sale for $159, so $100 off for 80 feet. This stuff is actual poultry netting, so it's got like only the small squares, smaller at the bottom. And then I can, once I have the sheep and the dogs back outside, I can actually tie in to the electric fence over here and then electrify this whole area. I like it. It's actually a lot taller than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's got to be 4 feet tall. So yeah, hopefully they stay in here and then just have to lock them up at night. Coming in hot with all the chicken treats. So chickens. So bird, the sweat, sieve? What's it? Sweat, I think. Le sweat. For birds, for wild birds, is actually great for chickens. So toss them a block once in a while. Look at these beautiful eggs that I'm getting ready to put into the incubator and to bring in some new life. These eggs, I've gotten eggs like this from this same lady a couple times, and she does such a great job with her birds. These are what I would call true Easter eggers, meaning that they are like an Americana with a Moran covering them, or an olive egger for the different shades. But like, look at all these beautiful colors. Like that is blue, like blue. And then we've got some lighter shades of green, some olives, some really dark olives, which are like not brown, they're still olive. Like, look at that. So exciting. So I'm gonna put more of these in the incubator and hatch some new chicks so that we have more colored layers for the spring.